Hello, friends. I'm a little late to the game here, but I'm here to talk about the Vikings signing Aaron Jones from the Packers, running back. I confess I was a little excited to hear about it. Typically, I don't care much about the running back position. I feel like it's kind of one of the last things on your list of needs. You need an offensive line, you need a quarterback, you need a defensive line, you need a secondary, and you can kind of plug in a running back if you got all those other pieces. But I've always found Aaron Jones to be kind of unique in how he runs. And I've always thought he was kind of a punk. He just struck me as a punk. Never liked him. Something about this guy, I don't like how he signals first down. He's a showboater, a hot dog. Kind of a typical Packer in a lot of ways. Just too big for his britches. But, I mean, if he had to run on his knees, he'd be better than Alexander Madison. So it's a massive upgrade over what we had. And I've always found him to be a very slippery runner. His style is just like he avoids getting tackled in kind of a unique way. He doesn't really seem to run people over so much or run through people. It's just he has some kind of movement to find gaps in ways that maybe some other running backs don't. And that's led to him having a very high yards per carry in his career. I think it's close to 5. In fact, it is 5.0 yards per carry through his career, which doesn't surprise me. Now, he's not really a workhorse back. It seems to get, around 200 carries a season, which is actually good because that means he doesn't get super worn down by the end of the year. And so in the playoffs, he can actually make a difference. He can actually show up and be somewhat fresh, unlike, say, Dalvin Cook for the Vikings, where the Vikings just run him into the ground during the regular season, and then the 1 out of 3 years that Kirk Cousins would get him into the playoffs, he'd have nothing left in the tank. He does seem kind of butthurt about the Packers, asking him to take a pay cut and letting him go. I don't blame the Packers. I mean, he only had like 650 yards rushing this past year. I hope that's not his whole motivation this year, is just sticking it to the Packers. That just never really works out. Greg Jennings, it didn't work out. Sure, Brett Favre, it worked for a year, but it only worked for a year, and it didn't last. But I think this is potentially an exciting signing because potentially it'll be exciting. Like, I think he's an exciting guy to watch, whether he's a punk or not, whether he's going to put up huge yards, whether he's going to get hurt for half the year maybe. But if he can stay somewhat healthy, I think he'll make the offense more interesting to watch.